April 2, 2018, Miami, Florida, USA. Boston Red Sox former player David Ortiz, left, sits next to former New York Yankees Jorge Posada, center, and former New Yankees player and the Miami Marlins chief executive officer Derek Jeter, right, during the second inning of a baseball game between the Boston Red Sox and the Miami Marlins at Marlins Park. Mandatory credit. Steve Mitchell, USA Today Sports. Steve Mitchell, there's a simple reason why Jorge Posada's return to a full-time job in baseball at 47 years old is coming with the Marlins and not the Yankees, team for which he played his entire career. The Yankees didn't offer their former catcher a job. There was nothing official. They just wanted me to be a guest coach, Posada told the New York Post. The five-time All-Star and owner of 4 World Series rings said he was not really disappointed. "It is what it is. I'm okay," Posada said. Posada has been a guest instructor with the Yankees in the past, but he's now a special advisor for the Marlins, working for his longtime teammate Derek Jeter and donning a Marlins cap and t-shirt at spring training. Jorge Posada, one of the newest additions to the Marlins staff, knows how to win championships. Will be another great mentor for young players. pic.twitter.com/u3v3wgzjjn. Jessica Blaylock, @JessBlaylock, February 18, 2019. The circumstances were right for Posada, who lives in Miami and whose children are in their late teens. There's a long list of people with former ties to the Yankees organization who are now with the Marlins, but it remains to be seen if the rest of the core four, Mariano Rivera and Andy Pettitte, will also make the jump. "Mariano's a little busy this year during the summer," Posada told The Athletic, noting Rivera's upcoming Hall of Fame induction. "We'll see what Andy's doing. He lives in Texas. I think he's coaching with his kids. We'll see." Hopefully, related, Derek Jeter hires core 4 Yankees teammate to join Marlins greater than read more related, Yankees legend Mariano Rivera elected to Hall of Fame with 100% of vote greater than read more related, Yankees legend Derek Jeter already sounds like George Steinbrenner greater than read more. The Yankees had been in pursuit of free agent 3B/SS Manny Machado, who was reportedly looking for a deal that will pay him roughly $300 million over 10 years. Now, the saga appears over. February 19, 12:27 p.m., Machado has agreed to a deal with the Padres, Jeff Passan of Yahoo reports. The deal is worth $300 million over 10 years, reports MLB.com's Mark Feinson. The deal has an opt-out after the 5th season, reports Tim Brown of Yahoo. September 26, 2018, New York City, New York, USA. New York Mets starting pitcher Jacob deGrom, 48 pitches against the Atlanta Braves during the first inning at Citi Field. Mandatory credit. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, the Yankees' Luis Severino took a bit of a jab at Mets ace Jacob deGrom on Sunday over deGrom's potential self-imposed innings restriction if he doesn't get an extension by opening day. On Monday, Severino claimed "I wasn't saying anything about deGrom's situation after he clearly did just that." On Tuesday, deGrom responded, "Everybody is entitled to their own opinions," deGrom told Matt Ahilt of NJ.com. "The business side of the game is why you have agents. They're looking out for my best interest and advising me." New York Yankees outfielder Estevan Florial during the Arizona Fall League All-Star Game at Surprise Stadium, Mark J. Rebelez, USA Today Sports. After being ranked No. 2 last year behind Gleyber Torres, outfielder Estevan Florial enters 2019 as the Yankees' #1 prospect, according to the latest top 30 list released by MLB Pipeline. Rounding out the top 5 are RHP Jonathan Loaisiga, RHP Albert Abreu, RHP Davy Garcia and RHP Clark Schmidt. While MLB.com's Jim Callis notes there are swing and miss concerns with Florial, his multiple above-average tools put him atop the Yanks farm system. The site gives Florial a 65 grade for running and arm, a 60 for defense and a 55 for power. Exclusive Aaron Boone interview. 0 hours 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Yankees manager Aaron Boone sat down with SNY's Andy Martino. talk everything from changing culture to never-known postseason injuries. Yankees manager Aaron Boone sat down with SNY.TV's Andy Martino on Baseball Night in New York to talk about New York's revamped bullpen, what he expects in his second year as manager, and how he hopes his club can win its first World Series since 2009. New York Yankees designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton singles against the Toronto Blue Jays during the third inning at Yankee Stadium. Andy Marlin, USA Today Sports, John Harper, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa. On his first day in Yankee camp, Giancarlo Stanton wasn't making any bold predictions or declaring that New York has yet to see him at his best, but he said just enough to make it seem he believes year 2 in pinstripes will be something closer to his NL MVP season of 2017, which raises an obvious question: is there legitimate reason to believe he's more than a streaky mistake hitter who will always be vulnerable to elite pitching, as it appeared last season? New York Yankees pitcher Luis Severino walks toward the dugout after being relieved during the third inning of a baseball game against the Oakland Athletics in Oakland, California, Wednesday, Sept. 5, 2018. AP photo, Jeff Chu, AP. Luis Severino claims he wasn't specifically discussing Jacob deGrom's situation, despite saying $17 million and, you know, his name. During an interview with SNY on Monday, the Yankees ace was informed that his comments about the National League Cy Young winner were getting a lot of attention. "Nobody has said anything to me about it," he told SNY contributor John Harper. Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, on October 8, 2018, during the terrible span of 10 minutes or so between a playoff loss and a grilling from reporters, Brian Cashman offered Aaron Boone an out. "You can tell them about Britain," said the GM, whose typical approach is to preemptively reveal stories that are likely to leak anyway. Stanton on Harper and Machado. 0 hours 0 minutes and 30 seconds. Stanton owns the largest contract in baseball. Many thought Harper and Machado would break it this offseason yet still remain unsigned. Giancarlo Stanton owns the largest contract in Major League Baseball, a title many thought would belong to either Bryce Harper or Manny Machado at the start of spring training. The two-star free agent still remain unsigned as of Feb. 18, although Harper is reportedly close, and it is possible the two players still garner contracts that would keep Stanton as the highest-paid player in the league. The Yankees slugger has seen what has transpired this offseason in free agency, and like many he is left confused as to what is going on. Toronto Blue Jays shortstop Troy Tulowitzki throws out Boston Red Sox right fielder Mookie Betts during the first inning at Fenway Park. Winslow Townsend, USA Today Sports, Chris Carelli, SNY, TV, Facebook, Twitter, About Me, Archives. The Yankees had plenty of preparation time to find a temporary replacement for shortstop Didi Gregorius, who underwent Tommy John surgery on October 17, 2018. Yet, the club's answer, or prayer, is Troy Tulowitzki. As if the Yankees were lost in 2013, the team apparently loved what they saw from Tulowitzki in a workout conducted for MLB squads in mid-December. Recall, Tulowitzki was released outright by the Toronto Blue Jays, who will pay the shortstop all but the MLB minimum, $555,000, toward his $19 million due in 2019. Taking a flyer on a player like Tulowitzki at the league minimum salary is understandable, but to outright name him the starting shortstop for a team with legitimate hopes to win a World Series title before seeing him step foot on the field in a competitive atmosphere is not. Yankees infielders at work. 0 hours 0 minutes and 25 seconds. Didi Gregorius and the Yankees infielders worked on their defense at training camp. Didi Gregorius and the Yankees infielders work on their defense at spring training. New York Yankees starting pitcher Luis Severino works out as pitchers and catchers report for spring training at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Luis Severino fired off an unexpected fastball toward Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom on Sunday. The Yankees ace, who recently inked a 4-year, $40 million extension to buy out his arbitration years, was critical of the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner for considering an innings limit this season if he does not sign an extension with the Mets. "For me, I would never do something like that," Severino told Randy Miller of NJ.com. "I want to pitch. I love to pitch. I love this game. Never do that. New York Yankees designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton hits a single to left field during the 8th inning against Toronto Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium. Catalina Fragoso, USA Today Sports. Giancarlo Stanton's stats in 2018 were all down from his MVP season in 2017. But Yankees hitting coach Marcus Thames is confident the four-time All-Star will rebound in his second season in pinstripes in 2019. "I know he's been working on some things," Thames said, according to the New York Post's Dan Martin. Who will lead off for Yankees? 0 hours 0 minutes and 59 seconds. Aaron Boone had an interesting idea for a leadoff hitter for the Yankees in 2019. It'll likely be Hicks, but he didn't rule out Aaron Judge. Leading off for the Yankees, Aaron Judge. Yes, you read that correctly. Yankees manager Aaron Boone said that Aaron Hicks will likely lead off most games for the Bombers, but when asked how he could flip the lineup, he noted Judge potentially filling that slot. "First, I think DJ LeMahieu, especially with the way he hits left-handed pitching," Boone told the media on Sunday. "He can certainly be an option up there. We could even flirt with the big boy up there, Judge, in certain situations. But I do like Aaron Hicks at the top of the order. Brett Gardner could play into that mix, especially against right-handed pitching. So it kinda depends on who's in the lineup that day, who the pitcher is, who the opponent is. I would say Aaron Hicks is probably the front-runner to be that guy to lead off." September 16, 2018, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Washington Nationals right fielder Bryce Harper, 34, in the dugout against the Atlanta Braves during the second inning at SunTrust Park. Mandatory credit, Adam Hagee. USA Today Sports. Adam Hagee. While the Yankees' pursuit of Manny Machado hasn't been aggressive, the Bombers haven't been on Bryce Harper's radar all off-season. Yes, the Yankees don't necessarily need Harper with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton in their outfield already. But at age 26 and a left-handed power bat, Harper would be a perfect fit in the Bronx. So what's held the Yankees back from looking Harper's way? CBS Sports' Jim Bowden says it's Harper's defense and price tag that is turning the Yankees off. Luis Severino headlines Sunday. 0 hours 0 minutes and 55 seconds. Watch the best moments from spring training on Sunday in Tampa for the Yankees. John Harper, SNY.TV, Twitter, spring training. In some ways it's the best time for baseball writers, a time when players, managers, and executives are more relaxed and willing to talk before the pressure of the long season takes hold. I first went to spring training in 1982, and suffice it to say we writers were a lot more relaxed as well in those days, before internet deadlines and social media changed everything about the job. The quotes aren't nearly as colorful these days, when players seemingly live in fear of the Twitter reaction to even the smallest misstep. But as I head to Florida to write about both the Mets and Yankees for SNY, there's still nothing better than baseball and sunshine in February. Didi Gregorius, 18, Aaron Judge, 99, mandatory credit, Ken Blaze. USA Today Sports, Ken Blaze. Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa, Florida. It was a day of transition for the Yankees at Steinbrenner Field on Saturday, with glimpses of both the past and future, and questions about whether the Yankees can hold their new core together. The marquee event was an afternoon news conference in which CC Sabathia announced his plans to retire at the end of the season. Sabathia was a key member of the Yankees' most recent championship team, and a link between the Derek Jeter, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada era and the Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino group. March 1, 2018, Clearwater, FL, USA. New York Yankees center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury, 22, works out prior to the game hit Spectrum Field. Mandatory credit, Kim Clement. USA Today Sports, Kim Clement. Jacoby Ellsbury is already missing the beginning of spring training, and it is likely that will mean he will start the 2019 season on the injured list. Yankees GM Brian Cashman said on Saturday that the oft-injured outfielder, who is battling plantar fasciitis, is not running on flat ground and that he will not arrive to spring training until mid to late March. At the earliest, he could be here as mid to late March, so we're probably looking at a start on the DL, Cashman told reporters. That doesn't mean we are looking at the ill to start yet, but just in terms of timing it could be. CC Sabathia is done after 2019. 0 hours 3 minutes and 21 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher CC Sabathia announces that 2019 will his final year on the mound and that he will retire after the season. It has been known for months now, but the Yankees had an official press conference where veteran LHP CC Sabathia announced that 2019 will be his final season in the MLB. This season will be Sabathia's 19th year in the MLB, and to have the great career he's been able to put together over that time, there are a lot of people to give thanks to. During his opening comments, he started with his mother. "I just wanted to make this announcement that 2019 will be my final season," Sabathia began. "I want to obviously thank a lot of people. I wouldn't be here today, 18 years in the big leagues, without so many different people. But I want to start with my mom. She couldn't be here today, but her sacrificing so much for me as a kid to be able to get to this point to live out my dream." Luis Severino talks new contract. 0 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher Luis Severino makes his first comments since signing a new 4-year, $40 million contract. When the deadline passed for players to avoid arbitration, the Yankees had just one player who didn't settle on a deal for the season in RHP Luis Severino, so, before Severino could get to work down in Tampa at the Yankees spring training facility, he had to go through his arbitration hearing to hopefully hammer out a deal fast to avoid wasting any time. Well, he got a long-term extension instead. The Yankees and Severino agreed to a 4-year extension worth $40 million that comes with a 5th-year club option worth $15 million. New York locked up Severino through his 20s in hopes that he becomes the consistent ace they believe him to be. Judge Sanchez arbitration. 0 hours 1 minute and 7 seconds. New York Yankees Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge are up for arbitration in 2020. Will the Yankees be able to sign them to team-friendly deals? Anthony McCarron, SNY.TV. Twitter, Luis Severino got paid life-changing money and didn't have to endure the potential hurt feelings that the nitpicking of an arbitration hearing can sometimes make bloom. The Yankees grabbed cost certainty on an ace-level arm, and the rest of us scored some juicy topics to kick around when the Yanks and Severino came to an agreement Friday on a contract extension for the righty. Especially this Severino's deal signal that the Yanks are ready to talk pre-free agency deals with the rest of their young studs. In other words, on deck, Aaron Judge. Aaron Boone talks pitching. 0 hours 0 minutes and 36 seconds. In part of an upcoming interview with Aaron Boone, Andy Martino asked whether the Yankees would use an opener in games. Yankees manager Aaron Boone sat down with SNY's Andy Martino at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa to discuss the upcoming season. The second-year manager touched on a variety of subjects, including why he feels confident in this year's roster as well as whether or not he would consider using an opener with his deep bullpen this season. Be sure to check out the full interview with Boone on BNNY at 6 p.m. on SNY. Click below for another clip from interview. Danny Farquhar talks comeback. 0 hours 0 minutes and 51 seconds. New York Yankees pitcher Danny Farquhar talks his comeback to baseball after suffering a brain hemorrhage last season. It was less than a year ago on April 20th when RHP Danny Farquhar suffered a life-threatening brain hemorrhage as a result of a ruptured brain aneurysm, causing him to collapse in the White Sox's dugout. He was immediately taken to a hospital, where he remained for 17 days before he was discharged with the knowledge that he eventually would be able to pitch again, though not in the 2018 season. Fast forward to Friday, when Farquhar threw his first bullpen session with the Yankees, who signed Farquhar to a minor league deal less than a month ago. His bullpen received much fanfare, and even though it was just a spring training bullpen session, the moment wasn't lost on Farquhar. "Just to think 10 months ago that I would be here, you don't know," Farquhar said. "I'm extraordinarily thankful." May 11, 2018, Bronx, NY, USA. New York Yankees starting pitcher Sonny Gray, 55, reacts on his way to the dugout after giving up a run in the third inning against the Oakland Athletics at Yankee Stadium. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray. USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. Whether one believes this is Jordan Montgomery being critical of the Yankees for trading Sonny Gray depends on one's interpretation. But at the very least, Montgomery believes the Reds did a great piece of business in acquiring Gray last month and signing him to a 3-year, $30.5 million contract extension. Cincinnati got a steal, Montgomery told NJ.com on Thursday. Yankees GM Brian Cashman was very public about his intent to move Gray, and he finally did on Jan. 21 in what was essentially a three-way trade. The Yankees received a 2019 competitive balance round A draft pick and 2B shed Long from Cincinnati. The Yanks then sent Long to Seattle for Josh Stowers. The Reds received Gray and LHP Reaver San Martin. Behind the scenes in Tampa, 0 hours 0 minutes and 37 seconds. A quick behind-the-scenes tour of the Yankees facility in Tampa. Yankees pitchers and catchers reported this week in Tampa for spring training. Take a quick peek behind the scenes as SNY is on hand for all the spring training coverage at George M. Steinbrenner Field. With spring training upon us, MLB Network released its top 20 players right now, and a couple Yankees made the cut. Aaron Judge came in at No. 12 on the list, while fellow outfielder and baseball masher Giancarlo Stanton was placed at No. 19. Judge has only 2 full seasons in the bigs under his belt, but he has already made his mark as one of the game's best young stars. He didn't have the same year in 2018 as he did in his Rookie of the Year campaign in 2017, where he hammered 52 homers with 114 RBI and a .284 batting average. New York Yankees starting pitcher Luis Severino works out as pitchers and catchers report for spring training at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Luis Severino and the Yankees agreed to a 4-year, $40 million contract extension to avoid arbitration and cover his remaining years of team control, the team announced on Friday. SNY.TV, as Andy Martino confirmed the details of the contract, which includes a 5th-year option. Severino will receive a $2 million signing bonus and earn $4 million in salary in 2019. He will make $10 million in 2020, $10.25 million in 2021 and $11 million in 2022. He also has a $15 million club option that covers his first year of free agency in 2023. The Yankees could buy that out for $2.75 million, which is included in the guaranteed money, meaning Severino's contract could max out at $52.25 million. New York Yankees second baseman Gleyber Torres throws to first base against the Kansas City Royals during the first inning at Yankee Stadium. Adam Hunger, USA Today Sports. Chris Carelli, SNY, TV, Facebook, Twitter. About Me. Archives. The Yankees are comfortable shifting Gleyber Torres to shortstop if immediate plans do not pan out in 2019. But the Yanks should reconsider the move, one that feels almost certain to be required, as a last resort, not the first response. Torres enters his sophomore season in the big leagues needing a clearer focus with increased expectations. Despite a very good overall rookie campaign, he did show that he's still a young man learning the game. New York Yankees starting pitcher James Paxton throws as pitchers and catchers report for spring training at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. James Paxton threw a career-high 160 and a third innings with the Mariners last season, 24 and a third innings more than his previous high the year before. Now that he's with the Yankees, Paxton has a loftier goal. "My goal is to get to the 200-inning range," Paxton said, according to the New York Post's Joel Sherman. "I understand the bullpenning and leverage, but I wonder if those relievers who are being pushed to constant 2- and 3-inning stints will run out of gas. I think it is still up to starters to provide innings." Sanchez eyeing March 1st return. 0 hours 1 minute and 27 seconds. New York Yankees catcher Gary Sanchez has been recovering from shoulder surgery. Manager Aaron Boone said he expects him back by March 1st. Andy Martino, SNY.TV, Twitter, Tampa, Florida. A few minutes after 1 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, a contingent of Yankee bigwigs gathered behind the cage to watch Gary Sanchez's first batting practice at spring training. As they stood there in the sun, Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone, and assistant GM Tim Naehring shared a common thought: despite Sanchez's terrible season in 2018, the Yankees still truly believe he will be their catcher of the future, and an all-star caliber hitter for many years. Spring is a time for easy platitudes and flattery, but this one is different. The Yankees really do still think highly of Sanchez. How will Yankees employ bullpen? 0 hours 1 minute and 11 seconds. New York Yankees have built a super bullpen through free agency, but how can they capitalize on it? Sweeney Morty and Andy Martino discuss. Last season, the Yankees had one of the most productive bullpens in the MLB. But GM Brian Cashman bulked up his relievers even more this offseason, which begs the question, how will manager Aaron Boone utilize this unit in 2019? With names like Aroldis Chapman, Dellin Betances, Chad Green, Zach Britton, and Adam Ottavino, Boone will have a variety of options each and every game. In fact, this squad could get the Yankees through a game if need be. SNY's Andy Martino and Sweeney Morty discuss how they think Boone will use his bullpen this season, and whether or not a bullpen game is in the cards. Adam Ottavino excited to join NY. 0 hours 1 minute and 25 seconds. Adam Ottavino is excited to join the Yankees, a team he was a fan of growing up. He's learned some lessons from his Babe Ruth comments. Adam Ottavino went to high school in Brooklyn but went to college in Boston. Now that he's one of the newest Yankees relievers, he's proud to be directly involved in one of the biggest rivalries in sports. Upon signing a 3-year, $27 million deal with New York this offseason, the newest Yankees reliever is glad to be part of the team he rooted for as a kid. "It's cool, it's a thrill," Ottavino said. "It's a team I grew up watching and rooting for, and it's just a great opportunity for me." Toronto Blue Jays shortstop Troy Tulowitzki throws during spring training workouts at Bobby Matic Training Center. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. The Yankees signed Troy Tulowitzki on a 1-year minimum deal this offseason once the Toronto Blue Jays released him, and manager Aaron Boone believes the 34-year-old shortstop can recover from double heel surgery to make a significant impact with New York. "We feel like he's in a good place, and over some of the injuries that really plagued him over the last year and a half, 2 years, Boone said during Wednesday's press conference. "We'll try to be vigilant as far as how his schedule goes and obviously communicating with him. We'll develop a plan that kind of evolves a little bit." John Harper, SNY.TV, Twitter. Much is still to be determined, but if DJ LeMahieu winds up being a glorified utility infielder in the Bronx, which seems to be a distinct possibility, then wouldn't it be fair to suggest the Yankees, with the questions surrounding CC Sabathia, may have been better off spending that money on, say, Gio Gonzalez? Or better yet, Wade Miley? It's too late in the case of Miley, who signed the bargain deal of the winter with the Astros, 1 year, $4.5 million, apparently because nobody believes the story that he reinvented himself with a cutter, despite his 2.57 ERA over 18 starts with the Brewers last season. Best of Aaron Boone. 0 hours 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Aaron Boone addressed the media for the first time at spring training. He talked about expectations and details about Gary Sanchez.